America once had a strong love for cabover trucks, which dominated highways from coast to coast. From their compact and efficient design to their eventual decline in favor of conventional models, the story of cabover trucks is one of both innovation and change. But what led to the shift away from these iconic trucks? Join us as we explore the reasons behind why America stopped making cabover trucks and what replaced them. The flat-fronted cabover trucks, also known as cab-over-engine trucks, were very popular in the United States. However, their popularity gradually faded. There were advantages and disadvantages to both cabover and long-nose trucks, but the main reason the United States and Europe once preferred the same flat-front designs and later took different paths was due to legislation, particularly laws regulating the total length of trucks. In Europe, strict rules limited the maximum length of the combined truck and trailer for much of the 20th century. The United States had similar laws, but things changed in the late 1970s after a rule change. United States laws began regulating only the length of the trailer, not the entire vehicle. As a result, American truck manufacturers and companies started switching to longer-nose trucks, which allowed for a bigger cab area. Cabover trucks had certain advantages, such as offering better visibility for drivers and improved maneuverability. This made them especially useful in Europe, where roads were often narrower. However, this was not a major issue in the United States, where wider roads allowed for larger vehicles. The transition to long-nose trucks gave drivers more space to sleep in the cab, and the lower height of the cab made it easier to climb inside. By placing the engine in front of the cab and extending the truck's wheelbase, drivers in long-nose trucks experienced less noise and vibration. It also meant they did not have to tilt the entire cab forward to access the engine, saving them from clearing out loose items like magazines before performing maintenance. Safety also played a significant role in this change. In Europe, trucks were limited to a top speed of just 56 miles per hour, or 90 kilometers per hour. However, trucks in the United States could travel at much higher speeds. Drivers would have felt far less secure in a cabover truck driving 80 miles per hour, or 130 kilometers per hour, with only a windshield separating them from impact. These factors, space, comfort, noise reduction, and safety concerns were all reasons why the United States shifted away from cabover trucks, while Europe continued to use them. One of the biggest problems with cab-over-engine trucks was their limited space inside the cabin. Because the cabin was small, drivers sat very close to the windshield. The sleeper bunk where drivers could rest during long trips was cramped, with little room for storing personal belongings. This might not seem like a big deal at first glance, but for truck drivers who traveled incredible distances every year and often stayed on the road for days at a time, having a comfortable cabin was crucial. A modern semi needed to offer comfort, and this became one of its most significant features over time. The issue of cabin space became more noticeable in the 1960s and 1970s as the national highway system expanded. Trucks began covering longer distances at faster speeds, which made cabin comfort even more essential. Drivers had to spend long hours in their cabs, and cramped spaces made these journeys uncomfortable and exhausting. Comfort was not just a luxury, but a necessity for those operating vehicles over vast distances. In addition to cramped space, noise was another major problem for cab-over-engine trucks. The engine was placed directly beneath the driver's seat, making it difficult for manufacturers to reduce sound and vibrations from it. Cab-over-engine trucks often ran on large petrol or diesel engines that generated significant noise. As a result, drivers were constantly exposed to loud engine sounds, rattles, and vibrations. Imagine driving thousands of miles with these distractions. It would have been incredibly tiring and unpleasant for anyone sitting in the driver's seat for extended periods. Maintenance and repair were also more complicated with cab-over-engine trucks. In conventional trucks, engines were located in a separate compartment at the front of the vehicle, making them easier for mechanics to access for repairs or routine maintenance. However, cab-over engine trucks required tilting the entire cabin forward to access the engine, a process that added extra steps, such as securing loose items inside before tilting. This setup made repairs more challenging than they would have been in traditional truck designs. On top of that, getting in and out of a cab-over truck was harder than with conventional trucks, since its entrance was higher due to its design over the engine. This made it more difficult for drivers to climb in or out after long shifts. The issues with cramped cabins, excessive noise levels, challenging maintenance processes, and overall lack of comfort contributed significantly to their decline in popularity as other models offered better solutions to these problems. Ultimately, changes in regulations regarding vehicle length limits, combined with evolving driver demands for comfort, drove America's shift away from cabover trucks toward long-nosed designs that prioritize space and safety over compact efficiency. Will we ever see a resurgence of cabover designs on American highways? Let us know your thoughts.